Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 114 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Happy Friday to you! Woohoo! Let me know if you have any fun plans for the weekend. It is absolutely beautiful. Weather is warm, the sun is shining. It is the perfect weather to be outside for a walk or a hike through the woods or picking apples or all that fun family stuff. It's beautiful outside, absolutely. And so the weather today, actually the past few days, is totally inspiring me to use these gorgeous Beauty of the Earth Designer Series papers. And I thought, since I have outdoors and beautiful leaves changing colors and all of that fun stuff, that I would pull out this new stamp set called Reflected in Nature. What's really neat is it's got this cute little cabin, and you stamp it once and you get both the mirror image on there as well. Hey Philomena, glad you could join me, and I'm so glad that your adhesive kit arrived this week and that you are excited to get it. They should all be arriving this week as well for everybody else who ordered too. So let me know what you think. I'm excited for you to get those. Yeah, so we've got some pretty fall cards today. Simple design. We're going to use the Beauty of the Earth designer paper, the Reflected in Nature stamp set. And I think it's going to be fun. So I'm going to just get right to it. I've got my mom is picking my niece up from school. And then we're going to go have some fun playtime here when I'm done with my video. I'm going to go join them for hanging out outside and doing some fun stuff. And then we've got a dinner date later this evening, so it's a busy day. Yeah, starting the weekend off right. All right, let me flip this. Thank you, Philomena, for sharing. And for anybody who's just joining, don't forget to like and share and all that good stuff. And if you are watching the replay, then definitely give me thumbs up, subscribe. You know how that works, all that good stuff. All right, let's see. Make sure we've got enough light here going on. And somewhere here I have hidden my October house code. So if you'd like to place an order this month for any of the products that we're using today, it is HZFHKU6X. All right, so I've got our cabin stamp already ready on the block. That is block E. And I thought we'd start off fairly simple. Both cards are going to use the same size measurements and everything, but I thought we'd do a little technique with the with each card. So our card base here. Hey Rachel, aw, how are you doing? This is 5.5 by 8.5. This is crushed curry. So I wanted to reflect the beautiful sunshine and pick up some of the color from the leaves as well. So I thought with this one, let me set this card base aside until I'm exactly sure what I want to do with it. I would use this pattern. We've got our kind of our oranges and our yellows there mixed with the blues and the greens. Love this, so pretty. And then the back side has that just blue watercolor wash. Hey Wendy, glad you made it again. Yeah, so this piece is, let me see, what did I call it? 3 3/4 by 5. That's what I got, 3 3/4 by 5. And then our mat of Misty Moonlight is 4 by 5 1/4. So these we can go ahead and adhere together. Okay, and the reason I have you do that rather than just adhere them to the card base is if we decide we want to add any ribbon or anything like that before we're finished, I want to be able to stick that down and not have it already on the card base. So the ribbon would go around this layer if we decide to add some. I do have some of this pretty, the gold fine art floral ribbon. It's kind of a natural color with the gold metallic through it. Oh, Rachel's got a bad back. So, well, yes, good excuse to sit and watch some card making videos. Absolutely. Okay, so the basic white here that I thought we'd stamp our image on, I didn't want to have too much overhang, so I cut this pretty much 2 sides. I measured my stamp here. So this is just a 3 1/4 inch square, and I've got a layer of Misty Moonlight that is 1/4 of an inch larger. So this is 3.5 inch square. All right, so we're gonna start out with this. I am gonna pull out just a piece of scrap here for underneath my project in case I over ink there. So I thought with this one we would start with the Misty Moonlight colors. So we're just gonna, all right, so we can see how we've got it. Let's make sure we're good. Okay, I might have just a little bit too much ink on here, but that's okay. This is one of those distinctive designs where Stampin' Up, essentially they take a photograph and then turn it into a stamp. That's how you get some of that neat detail in there. All right, so let's see how this looks. See if I had too much ink. No, actually it came out pretty good. So it looks like I could actually trim this off just a little bit there. So I think I will do that. I don't want to have too much white space. I'd rather have it a little bit even. So I'm actually, let's go ahead and trim. Let's trim 1/4 of an inch there off the bottom. Okay, so that still gives us a little bit of white there, but it's cuts a little closer. So I'm also going to trim 1/4 of an inch off of my Misty Moonlight matte layer as well. Okay, so we can see when we pull these together, so these are going to layer one on top of the other here. This is a really pretty stamp set. I think this is a sleeper stamp set, so to speak. Really interesting. This is from the mini catalog. And let me see if I can tell you what page it's on here if you want to check it out. It's kind of tucked in and easy to miss. All right, it is here on page 60. Hey, Luann. Hi, Sophie. Glad you guys could both make it. Hope you're having a fabulous Friday. We are playing with the Reflected in Nature stamp set from page 60 of the mini catalog. And we are pairing it with our Beauty of the Earth Designer Series papers. You can see we've got some gorgeous fall colors here. We've stamped our cabin in the Misty Moonlight. And so we just kind of have it just plain stamped as is. I'm almost thinking that maybe we want to add just a little touch of color. Let's pull in. I've got my cinnamon cider blends here. Let's just add a little bit of color and kind of highlight that little cabin in here. So I'm just gonna paint a little bit of this around on here. All right, just so that it kind of pulls out there. And I realize that's probably snow, but we're gonna pretend it's not snowing yet. So, so we're gonna go with that. And then let's see here. How about, let's see how dark this is gonna be. If we did a little bit of Old Olive, yeah, let's pair that. So in this case, it's fall, but hasn't snowed yet. That's what I'm going for here. So we've kind of got early autumn cabin in the woods on this one. Okay, so we're just kind of pairing that through. And then let's bring in a little bit of Pool Party and we'll kind of connect them through here. All right, so in this case, I'm just gonna run my Pool Party blend over all of this color here. I'm just gonna go over the whole thing. All right, and then we could even bring in just a little bit of that, little touches of that. Okay, a little bit of that as well. And then let me see here. I've got, yes, my color lifter. All right, so I'm gonna just come in a little bit of that kind of lighten it up just a little bit. And go back over it here with our pool party. So you have a little bit of the reflection there, but not too much. Let's just a little bit of this in here as well. And again, just going over that with the pool party. We'll soften it up just a little bit. Okay, so you've got your reflection. Pretty simple card here. And then I do think that I like this ribbon. So let's go ahead and cut that just a little bit wider than our card front. Okay, so we'll apply the adhesive to the back, and then we can tuck our ribbon ends behind here. All right, so I am glad that I didn't glue this down on the card base yet, because I did go ahead and add that ribbon. So let's center that about so. Okay. All right. Add a little bit more tape to keep that in place. Here we go. Actually, you know what? I do have crushed curry here, but I almost think that cinnamon cider might be a better match. What do you guys think? I think let's go with the cinnamon cider. Crushed curry was really pretty, but since we went ahead and did our cabin in the cinnamon cider, let's go ahead and adhere it to that. And that'll help that cabin kind of peek out from behind a little bit. Yeah, isn't that cute? Love that. All right, so we need lots of dimensionals here. And I've got my black dimensionals handy, so we're just going to go ahead and use these for right now. Okay. What do you guys think? Aren't these colors pretty? I'm absolutely loving this Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper because it can be used for every season. All right, should we go ahead and right in the middle, or maybe put it over this? I think I kind of like the center. What do you guys think? It's actually quite pretty, just how it is. Could almost do just a little bit of a knot here if we'd like, for a little extra something. Let me get myself straightened around here. There we go. Hi, Mary. Oh, you are canning the last of your tomatoes today. Wow, did you have a good harvest? Are you making a tomato soup as well? Or tomato sauce? My mom would always make batches of sauce as well while she was kind of in the process of canning. All right, so I think that's really cute. Just very, very simple. But we did add a little bit of color to this stamp here. All right, with our Stampin' Blends after we've got it on. So I think that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? All right, I'm going to see if I missed your comments while I was busy coloring here. All right. So we are going to follow a similar layout. Go ahead and do different colors. This time we are using a card base of Old Olive. I do think I'm going to stick with that instead of change it out. But you never know. There's so many different colors that work, that coordinate here with our Designer Series paper that you really can't go wrong with any of them. All right, so that was our Old Olive card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, thank you, Philomena. I'm glad you like that. Has anybody played with this one yet? I think it's really neat. You do have some nice sentiments in here too. So each day is an adventure. May your journey take you to many new and exciting places. Take time for you. So it does kind of evoke that image of relaxation and serenity and just the peacefulness of the woods. I love that. So with the sentiments, it could definitely be graduation or retirement or really anything, kind of thinking of you. Yeah, take care of yourself type card. All right, so this time we are going to use this other Yes, encouragement. That's a great idea, Philomena. So many different things it could be used for. So I'm going to use this pattern with all the blend of beautiful leaves. So again, this one is 3 3/4 by 5 on a mat of 4 by 5 1/4 of the early espresso. I mean, this side is really pretty too, but I think I want that blend of colors here. And I'm going to try and experiment on this card that I hope works because I did not try it ahead of time. I'm going to make sure I clean my stamp well because I've got that Misty Moonlight ink on there. This time I want to go with, I think, with the early espresso, but I have an idea. All right, so again, we've got our pieces. The basic white is 3 1/4 inch square, and the early espresso is 3 1/2. All right, yeah, it's Wendy says sometimes you can't tell until you get putting it together. At least everything coordinates, absolutely. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and ink up my stamp with the early espresso. But then what I wanted to do, or maybe I'm kind of torn. Let's go with that and let's try this. You know, if it doesn't work, we can always clean the stamp and flip our paper over or something. So I've got all of my little daubers here with different colors. And what I really wanted to do was try adding some fun pops of color to our stamp here. So I've got some, let's go ahead. We've got Cajun Craze, we've got some Mary Merlot, and we've got some cinnamon cider and things. So let's go ahead and try some of these. And let me pull in a scrap so I can see exactly what colors I'm working with. Okay, so Cajun Craze, that'll be perfect. And so what I want to do is just add some color on there, and I'm going to wipe it off and then add some more. So I'm wiping it off in between because I don't want to transfer that espresso ink to my ink pad. All right, so that was the Cajun Craze. Let's try with the Mary Merlot here. All right, so again, just wipe your daubers off. Good. All right, and then start at a corner and kind of go in through here. So we'll see how this works. All right, let's try some Mossy Meadow. So I'm going with darker colors here. And yeah, we've got a green, okay. All right, so the Mossy Meadow, I am gonna do a little bit more around the base here. Okay, and then let's take that cinnamon cider and see if we can get some of this right around our cabin here. Okay, and then we can't forget our reflection as well. And I'm gonna go back in with my previous dauber, so this is a little bit of green. Okay, and then let's add just a little bit, go a little bit lighter. Let's add a little bit of pumpkin and some of the reflection, maybe up in here. Okay, and then so I'm just kind of going a little bit crazy with some of my color combinations here. Let's see what this looks like. And again, if it doesn't work, we can always change it. So right here on top, okay, so I can see I've got a little bit of the color blended in there. That's actually pretty cool. I stamped off didn't exactly get it square on my white. So now that I can see it's working, I think I'm going to re-ink my stamp and then go for better aim. But do you see how we have some of the different color variations on here? All right, let's try that again. So we had cinnamon cider for our, for our cabin. All right, so we're using the sponge daubers to apply the ink to the stamp. All right, so we can get different colors here, all on the same image. All right, we're doing a little bit of Mossy Meadow. I've got my daubers over here. I've got a few of them, so let's see. Yes, this was the Mossy Meadow. So we're going in through the woods a little bit. Okay. And then we want to do our trees. We want to add some pops of color up in there. So we've got some Cajun Craze. That we're then blending with some Merlot. Okay. And then we've got some, oh, I need a little more kind of down in here. All right, and then let's do, did we do a little bit of pumpkin, a little bit of pumpkin pie in there as well. Just a little bit of bright color. So really, in looking at this, we just kind of want to make sure that we've got ink on the whole stamp here. Okay, let's try this again. All right, we're going for a little better aim here on our on our square. I got a little too close to the top last time. Okay, yes, an Adirondack look, Philomena. That's exactly what I'm going for here. Oh, we have much more color. All right. Isn't that cool? I love that. All right, so I think that definitely was an improvement. But again, I think I want to use my Pool Party, just the light Pool Party blend to kind of pull it all together just a little bit here. Just to kind of wash it out. I apologize if my camera's shaking on that. As you can tell, my Pool Party blend needs I need a new one because it's just about used up. There we go. But that way we've kind of pulled some of that. I'm adding just a little more Pool Party here to the kind of the river reflection there. I think that's really neat. Yeah, I like that. And if you wanted to, you know what, let's go in with, I want to pull it in. I wonder if this is going to be a little too dark. Let's try. I always try on a scrap paper first. I almost wonder if that might be a little too much. That's the bronze. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little bit different look, a little more saturated. Let's. I'm not sure. I almost think I liked it better without, but let's check it out. Let's go with, instead of the bronze, let's go with the light, kind of the light petal pink up here. There we go. It'll just kind of intensify some of that color just a little bit. Okay, so I'm doing that around the wooded part here. Okay. And then we're gonna go with, there we go, light soft sea foam. A little bit here. There we go. Okay. That works good on the green there. Okay. Yeah, and then that blends to the pool party. Yeah, and let's go with, I'm actually gonna pull in my darker pool party because the other one was just so light. Let's see here. So don't be afraid to play with color. Sometimes it comes out like you want, sometimes it doesn't, but it is good to do an experiment every now and then and really see how your tools can work together and really some of these cool tones that you can create that you wouldn't necessarily have otherwise. I do think I like that. I like all the color that we have there. Really, really neat. Okay, so let's trim this up just a little bit. Again, I'm going to take 1/4 inch there off the bottom. And then I think, oh, I need to remember to trim up the espresso mat as well. Okay. So when we adhere these together, yeah, see, I mean, that was just an espresso with a little bit, but isn't that is so much more colorful. It actually looks, I was going for the Adirondack look, but it almost looks like Adirondacks at sunset, like with the glow of the of the sunset there, which I think that's pretty cool. So like I said, this was a bit of an experiment. I'm glad that you stuck around to check it out with me, because I do think the results are pretty neat. And if you give this technique a try, where you add color to your stamp with your daubers, and then we add our blends over top to smooth out the color there, I think that does come out really neat. Oh, and Luann says yes. So I do have a mix of the old and the new style stamp pads. That is the only difference, is the design of the case. This is a newer, sleeker design, but yeah, stamp pads, Stampin' Up's products. That's why I've been a demo for over 15 years, because their products are quality and they are designed to last. So many of my ink pads I have had not just the 15 years, but for the few years that I was just a customer before taking the leap and becoming a demonstrator. So yeah, I use a mix of my products. As long as the colors are current, then yep, I still use old and new there. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this. I do think that's really cool. It does kind of blend into here. Yeah, Wendy says she's keeping her old pads until she's used up the refills. Exactly, I kind of feel the same way. Once I've kind of used it up or something like that, you know, then, because the new ink formula is a little bit different. It's designed with to have a little more of a, it's got an anti-foaming agent, so it doesn't bubble as much. I never noticed that to be a real issue. I haven't had any, but I guess it depends on the color. Sometimes they're a little bit juicier than others. So how about we go with a, since we went landscape on this one, how about we go portrait here? So I'm same measurements, just different colors. And this time we're just changing the orientation. We're rotating it to portrait. So let's add a little bit of ribbon. I do think this fine art gold ribbon works really well. Let me see exactly where I want to put this on here. All right, so it's going to be right about there. All right, hid my scissors under a pile. There we go. All right, so I'm kind of keeping that so I know about where I just pinch it as you flip it there. Okay. And we'll add our adhesive to the back. Okay. Oops. Add our ribbon. I guess I did cut it plenty long. I like to put a little dab of adhesive right over that too so that they stay. All right, I'm a little bit crooked. Let's get that straightened out first. All right, and then tuck it back under there. All right, there we go. Now we're straight across. And then, hey Pam, how are you? Thank you so much for sharing. Glad you made it here this afternoon. Happy Friday to you. Yeah. So has anybody gone all out pumpkin spice yet? It's been so warm here. I've been drinking iced tea. I haven't had a pumpkin spice latte or anything yet, but I'm not a big coffee drinker myself. I am more of a tea person, but let's go with here. Wendy says that she will be loving and chopping. She's working on some projects tonight. Awesome. Yeah, I love this designer series paper. Works perfectly. I didn't quite have enough room there, so you know what? If you want a little bow or something, go ahead and just tie. You could tie a single one, and then we can add it on with our mini glue dots. If you want to add something, but you don't quite have room there to slip it under. There we go. Ah, Wendy says she's more of a gingerbread latte. So you do, that still has the cinnamon in it. Absolutely. A little more cinnamon as opposed to the pumpkin pie spice. But I've always been, I love hot mulled cider. So the apple cider with the mulling spices. That I think is a nice cold weather treat. I really like that. But we always have been fortunate to have an abundance of apple cider. We have apple trees. They have not done real well this year because it's been so wet. And our orchard is actually really old. Apparently it was an orchard. I learned from our neighbor that this orchard has probably the older trees in our yards. Goodness, they're probably 75 years old at least, because he said this was an orchard, and then somebody had the audacity to kind of like bulldoze the orchard to put in houses. So our yard is actually one of the remaining properties that still has some of those original trees on it. And then the person that put the house in planted some newer trees, which are now 40 years old. So those are doing all right, but still kind of not a great year for the apples themselves. My uncle is a mechanical engineer. He actually built a cider press. So that's always been a family adventure, usually collecting the apples from our yard and things and other places. And then he would press the cider. This year, actually, our neighbors have a tree farm out behind our property, and they have a family adventure center going on this fall, and they have apple cannons. So they've actually come over and collected our apples to load their cannons, which great, shoot rotten apples out of a cannon. Super fun. What better thing to do on a sunny afternoon? So it works out great. And then what we don't pick up, the deer have been enjoying. We have a nice family of deer. We had a doe with twin fawns that has been out here for several months enjoying the apples. So but I don't know, I'm just in the fall mood. We have some maple trees. The leaves have started changing colors. I guess I'm just in a fall mood today. Absolutely. Luann says she is a Lipton tea girl. I'm a peppermint tea girl myself. Like my herbal teas. Absolutely. I even have David our evening relaxer is sleepy time tea. Yeah. I think that's the celestial seasonings is the or celestial seasons. Yeah, that's the brand of tea that makes the sleepy time. But oh, Pam says down south it's been cold and rainy for a few days. Well, Pam, keep that cold rain and don't send it our way. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been beautiful here. It was super rainy last week, and finally it's dried out. My dad is in landscaping, and he has some septics to install and things that he needs some drier weather for, not just mud. So I'm glad that the weather has cleared up and it's drying up so he can get his work done. And we all enjoy sunshine too. Absolutely. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed these Beauty of the Earth designer papers with our Reflected in Nature stamp set. And these fun ink techniques where we've stamped our images and then used our blends on the first card. And then on the second, we actually sponged the ink on with our daubers and then blended as well. So fun techniques. If you give it a try, I'd love to see it. If you are part of my Facebook group, and if you're not, go ahead and send a request. It's the Just B Stampers. There is a link to it through my Facebook page here, and you can select to join. So if you create one of my projects, I would love for you to share it with us in the group. That'd be awesome. So if you're watching on replay, again, don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, all of that fun stuff. Have a fabulous weekend. Happy stamping to you all. And I look forward to stamping with you again soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.